Today on Underworld Icons, we're diving into one of the most compelling stories in hip-hop history, an exploration of the relationship between two of the most notorious figures in the hip-hop industry, 50 Cent and Suge Knight. If you're familiar with the history of rap, you know that Suge Knight is a name that once commanded fear and respect, particularly during the peak of Death Row Records. But then there's 50 Cent, a rapper renowned for his fearlessness and resilience. In this discussion, we're unpacking the question, why was 50 Cent never scared of Suge Knight? Stay with us to hear the full story, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to keep up with our latest videos. The Legend of Suge Knight. Before we dive into 50 Cent's perspective, let's take a moment to understand who Suge Knight was and why his name struck fear across the music industry. Marion Suge Knight co-founded Death Row Records in 1991, a label that swiftly rose to prominence, becoming one of the most influential forces in hip-hop. Under Suge's ruthless leadership, Death Row signed some of the genre's biggest stars, including Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac. But Suge Knight was far more than just a businessman. He was a formidable figure in the streets, with deep connections to gang culture. His methods were as notorious as they were effective. Intimidation, threats, and physical violence were all part of his playbook. Stories like the infamous incident where Suge allegedly dangled Vanilla Ice over a balcony to force him to sign over royalties only added to his menacing reputation. At the height of his power, crossing Suge Knight was a risk few were willing to take. But for 50 Cent, the rules were different. 50 Cent's background. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson was forged in the crucible of South Jamaica, Queens, a neighborhood where violence, drug dealing, and survival were daily realities. By the time he turned to rap, 50 Cent had already endured experiences that would have broken most people. He had been shot at, stabbed, and had narrowly escaped death more than once. This brutal upbringing honed his survival instincts and shaped his identity, both as an individual and as an artist. When 50 Cent burst onto the scene with his first album, Get Rich or Die Trying, in 2003, it wasn't just a commercial triumph, it was a declaration. 50 Cent was a man who had stared death in the face and emerged unscathed. His image was built on a foundation of fearlessness, a refusal to be intimidated by anyone, a mindset that would define his interactions with Suge Knight. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry. To understand why 50 Cent didn't fear Suge Knight, we need to revisit the infamous East Coast-West Coast rivalry that defined the 1990s. This was a time when tensions between the coasts were at an all-time high, with Death Row Records leading the West Coast charge and Bad Boy Records, under Puff Daddy, representing the East. The feud reached its deadly climax with the murders of Tupac and the Notorious Big, two of rap's most iconic figures. Suge Knight was a central figure in this rivalry, often seen as the embodiment of West Coast aggression. His influence and connections made him a figure many feared to cross. However, by the time 50 Cent rose to prominence, the rivalry had cooled, and the hip-hop game had evolved. This shift played a crucial role in shaping 50 Cent's perception of Suge Knight. Perspective on fear. 50 Cent has frequently spoken about his views on fear and how his life experiences shaped his approach. In interviews, he's recounted how surviving a brutal attack in 2000, where he was shot 9 times, altered his outlook on life. This near-death experience left him feeling invincible, leading to the creation of his alter ego, 50. A persona that was unafraid, ruthless, and ready to confront anyone. For 50 Cent, fear was something to be mastered, a tool to be wielded rather than something to surrender to. His career is a testament to this philosophy. He refused to let fear dictate his actions or allow anyone, no matter how powerful, to intimidate him. This mindset is key to understanding why 50 Cent was never scared of Suge Knight. The incident at the Vibe Awards. One of the most telling moments of 50 Cent's fearlessness toward Suge Knight happened at the 2004 Vibe Awards. Suge Knight reportedly approached 50 Cent during the event, an encounter that, given Suge's reputation, many expected would end badly. But 50 Cent stood his ground, showing no signs of fear or intimidation. This incident is often cited as a prime example of 50 Cent's resolve. While many in the industry would have avoided a confrontation with Suge Knight, 50 Cent's confidence and understanding of street dynamics allowed him to face Suge without flinching. This moment became emblematic of 50 Cent's broader approach to threats and fear. Suge Knight's decline. Another significant factor that diminished any potential fear 50 Cent might have had was the decline of Suge Knight's power by the time 50 Cent came onto the scene. The mid-2000s were not kind to Suge Knight. Death Row Records had lost much of its influence, key artists had moved on, and Suge was embroiled in numerous legal issues, including bankruptcy. By the time 50 Cent was at the peak of his career, Suge Knight was no longer the invincible mogul he had once been. His power had waned, and his grip on the music industry had loosened considerably. 50 Cent, ever astute, likely recognized that Suge Knight was no longer the unstoppable force he had been in the 90s. The role of power dynamics. The shifting power dynamics in the music industry also played a role in why 50 Cent was never scared of Suge Knight. 50 Cent was aligned with some of the most powerful figures in hip-hop, including Eminem and Dr. Dre, both of whom had their own complex histories with Suge Knight. Dr. Dre, once a key figure at Death Row, had famously split from Suge to create Aftermath Entertainment, a move that didn't sit well with Suge. However, by the time 50 Cent emerged, Dr. Dre and Eminem were industry titans, wielding far more influence than Suge Knight. This power shift meant that 50 Cent was backed by a network of individuals whose clout far exceeded Suge's. 50 Cent wasn't just another rapper. He was part of a larger, more formidable alliance that could offer protection if necessary. Understanding the game. 50 Cent's lack of fear towards Suge Knight can also be attributed to his deep understanding of the music industry. 50 Cent has always been more than just a rapper. He's a savvy businessman with a keen insight into how the industry operates. He recognized that much of Suge Knight's power was based on the perception of fear, a perception that had weakened over time. 50 Cent has often talked about how he studied the industry and the people in it, learning how to navigate its complexities to succeed. He understood that Suge Knight's power lay in the aura of fear he projected, a facade that could be dismantled. Armed with this knowledge, 50 Cent saw Suge Knight not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as just another player in the game. 50 Cent's own reputation. Finally, it's crucial to consider 50 Cent's own reputation, both in the streets and within the industry. By the time 50 Cent encountered Suge Knight, he had already established himself as a force to be reckoned with. Surviving 9 gunshots, his numerous high-profile feuds with other rappers, and his unapologetic approach to conflict all contributed to his image as a fearless individual. 50 Cent didn't need to fear Suge Knight because he had already proven that he was just as formidable, if not more so. In hip-hop, reputation is everything, and 50 Cent's reputation was built on his ability to stand up to anyone, regardless of their reputation. His street credibility, coupled with his success in the music industry, positioned him on equal, if not higher, ground with Suge Knight. So, why was 50 Cent never scared of Suge Knight? It comes down to a mix of factors. 50 Cent's tough upbringing and survival instincts made him resilient to fear. The changing power dynamics in the music industry, along with Suge Knight's decline, played a crucial role. And 50 Cent's understanding of fear as a tool, combined with his own formidable reputation, meant that intimidation was never a factor. In the end, 50 Cent represents a new generation of artists who refuse to be controlled by the old rules of fear and intimidation that once dominated the industry. His approach to dealing with Suge Knight is a testament to his strength as both a person and a business strategist. It's a powerful reminder that in the world of hip-hop, fear is just another obstacle to be conquered. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the relationship between 50 Cent and Suge Knight, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this fascinating topic. Until next time, thanks for watching.